Okay, great. If we could now hear from Judge Joy Cossich, Lobrano.
Good morning. I would like to thank the Academy for inviting me to participate and to speak on something very passionate to me. It's an early intervention program and community model where we bring together juvenile courts, the schools, and community care centers. The pursuit of happiness is a well-known phrase in the United States Declaration of Independence. It is an inalienable right given to all humans by our Creator. The protector of this right is government. As the protector of this right, government must focus on the prevention of human suffering. Only in the absence of suffering can one pursue happiness. Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers of the United States, is known for his axiom that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound in cure. I address judicial initiatives to prevent human trafficking from occurring as opposed to initiatives to cure human trafficking's aftermath and devastating effects on communities and individuals. Human suffering can occur when a person experiences severe physical and/or mental pain, which can be caused by victimization, exploitation, poverty, violence, homelessness, trafficking, abuse, neglect, maltreatment, illness, environmental deterioration, or a history of justice system involvement. The cost of restorative care to cure the consequences of human suffering is astronomical compared to the cost of preventive care to prevent human suffering. Juvenile court judges can greatly assist in the prevention of human suffering. Pursuant to the Louisiana Children's Code, juvenile court judges have jurisdictions over children under 18 years old and their parents and guardians through, first, families in need of services, which I will refer to as FINS throughout this presentation. FINS provides supervision through either an informal FINS program or a formal FINS court proceeding when children and their parents are in need and have violated a FINS obligation. Second, children in need of care, providing prevention to children who are abused, neglected, abandoned, or endangered. And third, delinquency, providing rehabilitation to children 10 years and older who are accused of committing a crime. My focus is, in the heart of the FINS process, is the prevention through the use of informal FINS program and its intake officers who act as neutral third parties, providing for the assessment of a family's need, the resolution of a family dispute, the enhancement of a child's coping skills, and the coordination of services to meet the family's need without formal court involvement, but through the leadership of a juvenile court judge. FINS violations or status offenses, as referred to in other jurisdictions, are non-criminal, but still prohibited under the law because of the child's status as a minor, and thus are viewed as a violation of a legislatively mandated obligation owed to the community by either a child or their parents. In Louisiana, our FINS program works as this. Some of the obligations that are owed by a child and a parent are as following. Obligations of a child. Number 1, attend school, do not be truant. Number 2, obey school rules and do not willfully or repeatedly violate lawful school rules. Number 3, control your behavior and do not run away, violate curfew, illegally possess or consume intoxicating beverages, commit a crime with an age prohibit, participate in cyberbullying, or be ungovernable or uncontrollable. Obligations of parents. Properly address your child's behavior and do not willfully fail to attend school meetings to discuss your child's truancy or repeated violation of school rules. Number 2, properly address your child's educational needs and do not willfully fail to attend school meetings to discuss your child's serious educational problems. And number 3, do not contribute to your child's violations in the above obligations of a child. The juvenile justice system can assist in preventing human suffering by children under the age of 8 by addressing these actions and inactions of children and or their parents, by determining the underlying causes of these problematic behavior or academic performances, and by intervening early to correct such behavior and prevent its reoccurrence. The authority of juvenile courts to intervene to prevent the ripening of a family conflict into delinquency, abuse, or neglect is well established. The doctrine of parent patrie describes the authority of the state to act in place of the parent for the purpose of supervising and protecting a child. The state becomes a guardian in the supervision of children who need assistance or whose parents cannot properly supervise or protect them. As a former prosecutor and juvenile court judge, I recognize the importance of the role of a juvenile court judge as a parent patrie, especially in the administration of the FINS Early Intervention Program. If children and parents violate a FINS obligation, then informal FINS intake officer can intervene early to protect more serious misconduct in the future of the children and or their parents, to ensure the safety of children, to develop a care plan for the family, and to supervise the adequate delivery of services to families. And these services include both private and public agencies, such as the state departments of education, child and family services, health and hospitals, labor, and public safety. A violation of a societal obligation addressed in FINS can be damaging not only to the child's development and pursuit of happiness and a family's cohesiveness, but damaging to the common good and general welfare of the community and to others who are negatively affected by the violation. For a family to have access to the juvenile court system's protection services of early intervention requires a referral to the program, which usually comes from the local schools. FINS and status offenders programs are often underused and improperly applied, which is usually the result of lack of adequate community-based services, which is usually the result also of the lack of a trust-based relationship between schools and the juvenile court system. Some criticizes a court's involvement during the behavioral development stages of a teenager, and they view it as harmful. As a prosecutor, I realized early that to administer a competent early intervention FINS program that does not produce harmful effects on families required the development of a community model and protocols to prevent these harmful effects and still adequately deliver life enhancement services to children and parents. Thus, in 2006, my husband Jay and I incorporated the Plaquemines Community Care Center Foundation, Inc., a nonprofit corporation exempt from federal taxation under Section 501c3 of Title 26 of the United States Codes, to start the first community care center in Louisiana. I then began the development of a community model that would provide a systemic change in the application of the authority of the juvenile court justice system through the FINS program to intervene early, protect, and enhance the quality of life of children before the occurrence of human suffering or victimization. I refer to the model as Community Care Q model. The model provides three-dimensional protection of human suffering by bringing together the courts, the schools, and a community care center working together for the common good. The model includes, among other things, a community assessment and coordination, strategic initiative development, early intervention, initiative application, mentorships, and education. I advocate when the multifaceted initiatives of the model are efficiently, fairly, and simultaneously deployed under the leadership of judges, a safety net is created to prevent human suffering through early intervention before a judge's formal court involvement. If a judge intervention is warranted, the community model promotes the efficient and equitable application of a judge's order. I will very briefly discuss 4 aspects of the community model. The first one is a strategic tool that we developed as chair of the Louisiana Human Trafficking Prevention Commission. We took on the task in 2018 of addressing human trafficking, and we utilized a tool for discussion, analysis, assessment, and coordination, and developing different strategies to promote a wide range of initiatives to effectively prevent trafficking within a workings that we strategically set up committees and work groups. The result of this tool is very comprehensive, but I have the site where you can look at the results of using this assessment tool. I also have an assessment tool that helps helps provide discussion for human trafficking. A second aspect of the model is mentoring programs. When I was a juvenile court judge, we created what was called the CHAMPS program, Child Advocacy, Mentorship, and Prevention Services, which was a community-based mentoring program to support mutual, beneficial, long-standing relationships between families and individuals. The program promoted community inclusiveness, interdependency, and mutual respect. Mentorship programs foster cooperation between diverse sectors of society and benefit the marginalized population. The CHAMP volunteers have been assigned to offense and delinquency juvenile cases. Another aspect of the community model is school collaboration and educational programs with service components. Access to the juvenile justice system's early intervention protection programs in FENS or status offense programs should rely solely on referrals from the schools. Strong trust-based relationships between local school systems, the administrators, 504 accommodators, disciplinarians, counselors, teachers, and the juvenile justice system are vital to the effective implementation of the community model I present today. Additionally, community educational programs in cooperation with schools that foster responsibility and good decision-making are necessary to receive the full advantage of the model. As a daughter of school teachers, the school system has played an important role in my life, and I have been in the schools for the past 20 years teaching students about the law, decision-making, and wellness. As a judge, I created the curriculum of Project Law, which stands for legal thinking, awareness, and wellness of body, mind, economics, environment, and spirit. This is for 4th and 9th graders, which include a tour of our courthouse. Also, I'm a founding board member of the nonprofit Eden House, which is a long-term residential program for adult women victims of human trafficking. As part of our services, we go out into the schools in the New Orleans area and present a prevention education program, Real Choices, recognizing exploitation, advancing life, empowering young women, the general public, and especially at-risk girls to recognize, resist, and prevent human trafficking, and to eliminate gender-based violence in the New Orleans area. I have learned as much about my community while teaching in the schools as I have while sitting on the bench. Educational programs work best when there is a service component. For example, as an associate of a Catholic Sisters of the Living Word, I have been involved in their environmental initiatives, which includes growing and planting cypress trees to preserve the Louisiana wetland and habitat. I have developed a human suffering law seminar that also works with a service component. Such service-oriented initiatives, coupled with education, contribute to the development of public service-minded individuals working for the common good of our common home. Last, the Community Care Center is the focal and heart of my community model. A community care center are based on a multi-agency, one-stop shop, holistic approach to wellness and coordination of services to individuals and communities. Centers are based on community infrastructure development that unites healthcare, social services, school, funding partners, legal assistance, and the judicial system, particularly juvenile court, family court, and specialized problem-solving courts. The center works as a public-private partnership where the public sector joins the private sector, employers, nonprofit, churches, civic groups, to obtain the shared goal of providing and coordinating comprehensive, compassionate, and equitable services to residents, trust-based early intervention, educational and mentoring programs, and community funding and investment options. Since 2006, my home community of Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, has operated a community care center which was founded with my good friend, the late Lieutenant Kathy Butler. Our coastal community has experienced devastating hurricanes and a massive oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. The care center worked closely with our schools and judiciary, greatly contributed to our recovery, our resilience, and our strong communities. I welcome all to visit. Thank you.